Today's show is brought to you by Audible, and right now you can get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/joined-up. There's over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle or MP3 player. Thanks for tuning in to the Joined Up Writing Podcast, a weekly show featuring interviews with fantastic authors sharing their personal stories on how and why they write. There's hints and tips for aspiring writers and great book reviews from top bloggers. Follow us on Twitter at JU Podcast. Right, cue the cheesy theme tune.
Put down your pen and stop your typing. Grab yourself a drink, 'cause it's Joined Up Writing. The Epilogue.
Yes, it's the Epilogue again, our bonus in-between episodes, quick listens containing an extra question or topic not covered in the original interview. And this week it's ex-police officer turned author Rebecca Bradley, and she returns to give us some tips on writing credible police procedural novels, as well as talking about her own fact-checking service for other authors. And if you missed it, you can find a full interview where she talked about writing with a disability and much more over at joinedupwriting.co.uk, or even better, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Overcast, or wherever else you get your podcasts from, and you'll get a new episode downloaded automatically every week. We've got a huge archive of interviews, 2-minute tips, epilogues and writing chats for you to enjoy, and it's all completely free. And if you still can't wrap your head around podcast apps, then at the very least just hit the subscribe button over at joinedupwriting.co.uk, and that way you'll get a little email every Tuesday to let you know when a new episode is available to listen to. Right, let's crack on and listen to today's epilogue with Rebecca Bradley. Okay, Rebecca, thanks for staying around for the epilogue, our bonus quick listen shows where I ask a little extra question. And for this, we didn't really cover this too much in your main interview. We mentioned the fact that you're an ex-police officer, and as part of that, one of the services that you kind of offer is a police procedural fact-checking service, or PPFCS, as I've acronymed it. I know you police officers like acronyms. So tell us a bit about what that is. So obviously you write police procedurals, and you obviously saw a bit of a gap in the market as regards this. And well, you tell me why you thought this would be a good thing to set up.
I think it was a couple of friends who said something to me. They asked for some advice, and I obviously gave it to them. And they said, you could do something with this. And I thought, well, yeah, why not? Because there are crime books that I read that make me cringe sometimes.
I thought you might say that. Yeah.
The biggest one that really gets to me is when you see WPC written in a book. Female police officers have not been called WPC for at least 16 years because it's never been there in my service. Mm. In fact, I've been left, so it must be 20 years.
Yeah.
So that really, really boils my blood. I don't know where they get it from, to be honest.
TV, probably.
Yeah. Where do they get it from? Where has it come from?
They probably got it from like watching Life on Mars or something, set in the 70s.
Yeah. So I just thought that some crime writers really could do with having somewhere to go, and if I'm able to offer it, then I'm happy to do so. And that's what it is, really. There's different services on offer. You can either email me with a set of questions, and I'll get back to you fairly quickly. And as I do say on the page on the website, I've been gone about 3 or 4 years now, and things do progress and move fairly quickly. But I'm in touch. I am still in touch with, so I don't profess to know everything. I am still in touch with friends that are still in the job, who are quite happy for me to pick their brains, and I buy them a drink when I see them. And so I'll get back to people with the answers reasonably quickly. Also, I can go through a synopsis if police procedure,
plays a heavy
if the plot
of the
turns
plot,
on police procedure. And then also, I offer a service where I will read a full manuscript and go through it and check it completely for anything that's might be wrong. And that is the main thing that I've actually found is popular. The full manuscript read through. I've had quite a few of those. And I can turn those around in 2 to 3 weeks.
Obviously a really, really useful service. I mean, it's one of the things that puts me off writing any kind of police procedurals because I'm lazy, and I just know that I would be taking liberties all over the shop.
Well, to be honest, I'm completely in awe of people that actually try and write crime, because I wouldn't know where to start writing something that I know nothing about. To write something that has got such a strict set of rules, it's incredibly brave. Though I do say to people when I return an email with a report that everything within the report is just for their interest. It's still their book, it's still fiction. They can decide to alter what I've picked up on or leave it. At least they know that it's an informed decision.
But are you kind of willing to go with it? Are you willing to suspend your disbelief and just go with it if the story's strong enough and the action takes you along, or does it really, really take you out of it?
I think if the story's strong enough, I will go with it. But if it's something minor and it's got nothing to do with the story and it could easily be factually correct, that's when it niggles me, like WPC. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If anyone's listening, if anyone's got that in your draft, take it out now.
So that's got nothing to do with the story. It wouldn't alter anything, but there was no reason for it to be wrong. But if you want to bend the rules for the story, then I don't mind that. That's fine.
Are there any, like you say, WPC, are there any other, like, just little niggles like that? Or I say little, obviously it's not little niggle to you, it's like really annoys you, but are there any kind of little things like that maybe the average person that's just sitting out there at the minute would be like, I would have thought that? Or is there like an assumption that people like me make on a regular basis that, apart from WPC, that jumps out at you?
I think some of the reasons that they think they can make arrests for, they tend to be a common thing that pop up, or they can just go and search somebody's house without grounds for going in. Just things like that tend to be the more common. But then they don't niggle because you would need to know that. It's not something that's easily found out.
I think sometimes research can become a form of procrastination if you're not careful. When you're writing a first draft, I mean, obviously you need to have it right by the time you finish the book, when you're actually putting a finished draft out there. But when you're in first draft, it can be a bit of a temptation, can't it, sometimes to, I'm sure there's been things that you that are outside of what you know about, where you've thought, gone off down this rabbit hole researching about a very specific psychological condition, say, for example, or whatever. Have you found that you can procrastinate sometimes?
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that sends me procrastinating is when I'm trying to look for new settings. Where can I put this scene that's different? I'm fed up of having them stood here. Let's go and put them somewhere else. And I'll go down a proper rabbit hole trying to find a new scene setting. Did you know you've got websites for TV companies where TV companies look for scene settings?
Yeah, that's because that's kind of part of my job. I don't do TV, but I do video production. Right. I mean, it's mostly non-TV stuff, but that's part of. You have to search around for places, and they're like, as you say, there's a whole industry that's basically what they do. It's almost like, there's some places now that are almost like Airbnb, but they're specifically for film locations. Yeah.
If you want an abandoned warehouse, then they'll find you one of those.
But obviously, they're great research tools, as you say, because you can go on, you can look through the pictures, you can get a sense of, where it is, what it looks like, and all that kind of thing. But you can also waste a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, so if people want to find or take advantage of this service, can they access that just through your normal website? How do they get to that?
Yeah, if you go to RebeccaBradleyCrime.com, and then you'll see on the front page, police fact-checking service, right on the front page. It's got a big blue flashing police car light. Click on that and it'll take you to the right page.
I'll put that in the show notes for the epilogue episode. So, well, that's great. Well, really enjoyed both chats. It's been really good. Good luck with the next books coming out. It's been fun talking.
Thanks for having me, Wayne.
There you go, that was Rebecca Bradley, and you should definitely check out her books and the police procedural fact-checking service over at RebeccaBradleyCrime.com. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you listen to her full interview from episode 76. Next week, I'm excited to have an interview with author of debut sensation Chalkman, CJ Tudor. But that's it for this week, so thanks for listening. I'm Wayne Kelly, happy reading and writing, and I'll see you next time.